Hello and welcome to the iRacing Fantasy National Series, live here tonight for the opening of round number 2 here in the playoffs, the round of 8. 8 drivers coming into tonight's race with a shot at moving on. Only 4 will advance after this round. But we want to give you a little preview of the action that you are going to see here tonight in the iRacing Fantasy National Series. So we'll be right back after this quick intro.
Everybody ready, set, go. Rev it up and let's roll. There's a party in the fast lane. Got my hands on the wheel and I'm flying. Heartbeat loud as the thunder rolls. Riding in on the stampede of lightning. I'm bringing back the sunshine. Bringing back the sunshine. Baby, it's about time. Bring it back.
That's just a little taste of the action that we're going to see here tonight from the race here at Kansas Motor Speedway. And let's take a look at our point standings coming into tonight's race. Only 8 drivers left in the playoffs here in the National Series, and this is the first race of this round of 8. Chris James coming in 29 points above the cut line. All of those playoff points, such a huge advantage. And he is not actually going to be here tonight. So he's going to use up all of those playoff points before he even gets started in this round. Carl Dodson also questionable as to whether or not he's going to be here. Currently not in the race room, so looking like he's not going to show up either. Jay Queen is here. He's currently 14th on your leaderboard here in the practice session, which is coming to a close. Evan Longacre right up there near the top, as well as Chad Ginningsman, the 16 machine, right there on the cut line. Those two only separated by 2 points to advance into the final 4. Dakota Jorgensen, Grayson Sullivan, and Rick Webb also all on the board here, and they are all in the race tonight. So going to be interesting to see where everything shakes out after the end of the race. And at that point, we will know a little bit better what these guys are going to have to do for the next 2 races in this round of the playoffs. But right now, we're keeping an eye on Chad Ginningsman, who's going to make his way off onto the racetrack here to get a qualifying lap in. And this is our first race back to the National Series in a couple weeks, so it's good to be back. And good to see some of these guys we haven't seen in a little bit. And we're expecting a great race here tonight. Of course, the race brought to you by Rapid Fire Pizza. Evan Longacre running a different Rapid Fire Pizza machine here tonight. It's a black race car. We'll get a glimpse of that driver when he gets out on track here. Ginningsman coming across the start-finish line, going to get his lap clock going here as he goes down into turns 1 and 2. Let's take a look at our weather tonight. 70-degree air temp and 84-degree track temp, so not too hot. They should have plenty of grip here, and hopefully it'll be pretty comfortable. We've had some hot races recently as Ginningsman now coming out of turn 4, really pushing the limits there. Almost gets the wall, but a great job staying off of it. We'll see where he shuffles out here. Going to be a fast lap time. He will go to second on the board. Stephen Parks right there at the top of the standings. Dakota Jorgensen making his way onto the track. That number 9 Flash National Guard. He is going out here for his lap time. Of course, we want to welcome you to the race here tonight. This is V-Speed. My name is Adam Baker. I'll be your commentator here. And we are watching right now on Twitch. We appreciate you tuning in here so far this evening. But we're live here multiple times throughout the week. We'll be here live again tomorrow night. And we've already had a couple races so far this week. But if you haven't already and you have enjoyed our content, please consider following or hitting that subscribe button as well. We'd really appreciate it. You can also check us out on YouTube. It's now V-Speed Media, where we post race replays, as well as we just merged with a different YouTube channel that featured automotive content and real-world racing action. So we're going to be bringing you some of that in tandem with the iRacing content that you see here on Twitch. We also broadcast live over there occasionally on Monday nights, so check us out on that platform. Also check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/vspeedsim, where you can find us post each and every event before it goes live. You can also check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And you can also find us on our website, vspeedsim.com. We just added a bunch of new merchandise, some really cool stuff. And go check that out if you enjoy what you see here. Right now these guys putting their laps in. Let's see if Evan Longacre, looks like he's sitting on the end of pit road here. Oh, actually spun it out coming out of turn 4. And I think he'll get another shot at it here with a minute and a half remaining. That rapid-fired pizza machine. Little different look. Looks like he's got kind of the digital camo there subtly underneath. So Evan looking to put in a good lap time here. He comes in tied for the 4th position in the standings. We'll see what he can do if he elects to take a lap. But right now only 16 cars on the board. Stephen Parks currently your pole sitter in that number 93 machine. And we want to give a big shout out to Shorba's iRacing Paints. You can check them out over on Facebook. If you're looking for your own custom scheme for a NASCAR or other car, Jacob does a great job. Paints a lot of the cars here in the league, and he offers very affordable rates. So head on over there, see if you can get your own custom rates paint scheme from Shorba's iRacing Paints. And of course, we want to give a shout out to our main sponsor here tonight, Rapid Fired Pizza. Let's hear a quick word from them. Qualifying has come to a close. Stephen Parks, I believe it's your pole sitter here tonight. Let's go through our starting grid as these guys get set up on the racetrack. Stephen Parks going to be your pole sitter here tonight, so congratulations to Stephen. Great lap time there by the driver, the number 93. Let's get our little sponsor banner out of the way here. Stephen Parks on the pole, 29.022, fast lap from that driver. The 91 machine of Brandon Massajuski going to be on his outside with a 29.04, so very close, but not quite enough. But he'll start on the front row alongside Stephen. Alan Dobbs going to be rolling off in the 3rd position here tonight. Good lap time by the 42 machine. Jeffrey Meyer pulling off in the 4th position. Cody Jordan going to be starting in 5th, and Joshua Schofield starts in 6th. Roger Gregory going to be starting in the 7th position here tonight. And in 8th, it's Chad Ginningsman, going to be the first of the playoff contenders here, starting in that outside 4th row. Jay Queen right there behind him, another playoff contender in that 9th position. Greg Klein going to be rolling off in the 10th position. Grayson Sullivan, a playoff driver here, comes in last in the standings, or second to last in the standings, I should say. Starting 11th, Rick Webb, who comes in last in the top 8. Going to be starting at 12th. Dakota Jorgensen, another playoff driver. All these guys really kind of high top 10 and up to the teens here, all grouped together. He's starting in 13th. Cole Early rolling off in the 14th position. Barry Stevens starting in 15th. Kevin Roy rolling off in the 16th position. Cole Hooper starting in 17th tonight. Zach Adams rolling off in the 18th position. Matthew Williford starting 19th, and Chris James looks like he actually may have made it back in that number 1 car, rolling off in the 20th position. In 21st, it's Dylan Canova. 22nd, Charles Hager. 23rd is going to be Aaron Tyner, and 24th is Evan Longacre, who I believe is going to be the last of the playoff drivers to take to the grid here. Tim Rivers starting 25th, Tab Hebert 26th, Hilton Young rolling off 27th, Casey Flegel starting 28th, and that will complete our grid here. 28 drivers on the field. Stephen Parks is going to lead these guys to the green flag, though, as we are now out on track, making our way around here for our pace lap. So Stephen Parks just a fill-in driver here, but he has done a pretty solid job since he took over for a few of these guys the last handful of weeks. He's run up inside the top 10, top 5 at times, and now showing some speed here tonight at Kansas in that 93 Insurance King. And we will see how things go for him tonight. But pace car making its way out of turn 4. We are about to get going here in the round of 8. So get on your feet, cheer for your favorite driver there in chat, and let us hear who you are rooting for and who you think is going to win tonight. As the pace car rolls to pit road, we are now waiting for that green flag. Stephen Parks gets him going, green flag in the air. And we are underway. The 42 jumping straight to the apron. Not sure if that's going to be some type of a penalty as they make contact going into turn 1, side-by-side door banging. And the 42 machine, Alan Dobbs, takes over the lead straight away, but will he get black flagged for changing lanes? Stephen Parks losing positions now down on the inside. 3 wide with Cody Jordan and Jeffrey Meyer as they battle for the 3rd position. Parks going to drive it in there deep underneath. He will hang on to 3rd, but Cody Jordan right there in his wake trying to chase him down. Parks not able to clear him just yet. Now will clear himself, slide up the racetrack to that high groove, which can be the preferred groove on the long run. But we have completed 1 lap here as these two race side by side for that 3rd position. Alan Dobbs out in front, now challenged by Brandon Massajuski, the 91 machine right there on the inside. Oh, drifting up the track, almost makes contact, really has to slow himself up. And here comes 3rd and 4th charging up from behind. And we are under caution as we bring up our ticker here. Looks like Evan Longacre, one of our playoff contenders, already wrapped up in this. And he has major damage on that 48 car. And it looks like he was caught up there with, that is the 47 of Kevin Roy. Both those cars heavily modified now. Let's go take a look. Taking a look at Kevin Roy, the 47, the kind of unlabeled car, as he gets loose. A little bounce off of Chris James. The 10 car, the 60, get into him there. The 46, the 48, just nowhere to go. Longacre up in that high groove. And let's see if we can go on board with Evan here. as he comes in on the cut line, just 2 points above. He will have a couple races to recover, but not the way he wanted this round to start. On lap number 2, gets into the back bumper of the 46 machine and ultimately loops that thing down into the inside wall. But heavy damage for Evan here, and we'll have to see what kind of speed he has left in that race car. Not too great after being so strong in qualifying. He starts back here and gets caught up instantly. Looks like about the top 18 stayed on track, Casey Flegel being the last of them. And Rick Webb brought it down pit road. Dakota Jorgensen rolling off here. He's going to come out in the 19th position. But I don't believe there are any penalties assessed for the 42's start there, so we'll have to see what the ruling was. Also going to try and figure out what our stages are here tonight. Looks like tonight's race, our stages are going to be 25, 50, and 100. So 100 laps here tonight, and already one caution in the books. Alan Dobbs took the lead straight away from Stephen Parks, but Parks able to hang on to the 3rd spot as he was battling with Cody Jordan. And pace car lights are off, so we're going to be getting the green flag this next time by. And Rich Jameson in chat, this is it's an open setup series. Not sure if all of their series are open setup, but this one and the Cup series are open, and they're not fixed. So these guys build setups throughout the week, and some of these guys definitely really good in qualifying, but the cars maybe don't hold up on the long run. So we'll have to see how these drivers come and go. And under our next caution, if we get a decent run here, we will pull up one of the drivers in the field and see if we can talk with them here and see how the cars are handling for them. But Alan Dobbs, Brandon Massajuski going to be on the front row. Stephen Parks right there behind him. I don't think Stephen's very happy with the way the 42 started this race. And now he has an opportunity to pull the same move on this restart. Pace car lights are back on, so obviously a delayed restart. So let's hear a quick word from one of our sponsors. That was Rapid Fired Pizza. Gonna put their information in our chat here so you can check them out. Amazingly good, amazingly fast, fresh made pizza ready in just 180 seconds. Try one of their craft pizzas or choose from over 35 fresh toppings and a dozen different sauces to create your own masterpiece. That's rapidfiredpizza.com. Check it out, see if there are any located in your area. Evan Longacre here, a member of the Rapid Fire Pizza team, and he's from the Midwest. I know there's a lot of those restaurants there. We're waiting for this green flag, though, and Alan Dobbs in control. Gets him going now. Stephen Parks behind him gets a good restart. He's going to roll up right next to the 91 machine as they made a little bit of contact getting up through the gears, I think. And we've got some pretty serious cloud cover out here in Kansas. Hopefully no tornadoes in sight. But the 93 down low, not able to complete the pass as the 91 powering back up high. And the 8-car Jeffrey Meyer now trying to get into this battle. Let's take a look at some of our playoff contenders. Jake Queen, Grayson Sullivan, and Chad Ginningsman here at the tail end of the top 10 or just outside of it. Ginnigsman, one of the fastest in the practice session. We'll see if he can make his way forward. And he captured the victory in the Cup Series last week. Surprise win coming from more than 2 laps down to take this victory at the full-length Talladega race that we ran last Saturday. But Chad here, definitely solid driver, and you'll see him make his way forward, assuming there's no issues. But Jeffrey Meyer going to take over that second spot. Alan Dobbs is pulled away, no competition with the 42, but Meyer now still battling with the 91. And Ginnigsman now taking a position away from Josh Schofield, and these guys are going to have to try and earn as many points as possible in this first stage. With it only being 25 laps, it's not a long run here, so just got to push it as hard as you can, I think. On lap number 10 now. And Ginnigsman making his way forward. He goes around the outside. The 59, Rick Webb down on the apron. He is 2 laps off the pace here, very slow. And just came off pit road along with a couple other guys. Looks like we had a spin on the back straightaway. Zach Adams going around. And that brings out our second caution of the night. Let's take a look. And looks like Zach here was behind a pretty intense battle. 68 though washes up into him, and nowhere for Zach to go. He locks up the brakes there, able to stay off the inside wall, so good job hanging on to that thing. Loops it back around and continues on his way on the lead lap. Alan Dobbs out in front. We'll see if he decides to bring it down pit road now that we've had about 11 laps on these tires. And this is race number 4 once again of the playoffs, but the first race in the round of 8, and 8 of these guys here, one of them already having issues. That was Evan Longacre, who remains on the lead lap with no hood on that race car, and he's back here 23rd out of the 28 starters. So Longacre here looking for a long shot, I guess, as Dakota Jorgensen going to stay out, along with Casey Flegel and Matthew Williford. Some new names here in this race tonight. They elect to stay out. And Jorgensen did pit under our first caution, but Williford and Flegel back here behind him. The 68 caught up in that caution. The 86 Brandon-built machine. On the outside, I saw some smoke from somebody. I'm not sure what car that was. But Jorgensen looking for a lap lead here. He started in 13th. He has led a lap. And he comes in the playoffs as well. Jorgensen coming in 6th out of the 8 playoff drivers. So looking for some good points here. And I guess kind of a strategy call to see if he can earn some in the stage and gain some track position. He was just outside the top 10 before this caution came out. But gonna have a few cars here bringing it down pit road or bringing it to the apron. Not sure who that is. Tim Rivers bringing it down pit road right now. Casey Flegel did come down, so he's not going to stay out. And that's going to leave Jorgensen and Williford, those 2 cars on screen here. They are going to be the ones out there on old tires. Everybody else on brand new Goodyear Eagles and no 2-tire stops. So Evan Longacre still pit farming that thing, trying to get as much damage fixed as he can as he slides a little far forward in that box. The rapid-fired pizza machine, no hood. We would go to the pizza cam, but we wouldn't be able to see the sponsor since the hood is not on that race car. So Jorgensen going to lead him here back to the restart. Not sure when we're going to get it here. Pace car lights are still on. And we'll bring up the point standings just for reference. Chris James coming in, your points leader. He wasn't sure if he was going to make the race, but he did find his way here. Carl Dodson, however, is not in tonight's event, so he's going to lose quite a few positions, maybe drop out of the top 4. But he comes in with a few playoff points here, so he is helping himself out in that way. Jay Queen comes in 3rd. He's currently sitting 16th on the racetrack. Evan Longacre, like we mentioned, pit farming that race car. He brings it off pit road now. Back in the 24th position. Chad Ginningsman up here in 6th. Dakota Jorgensen leading. Grayson Sullivan in 10th. And Rick Webb is 1 lap down right now. First car 1 lap down. So that is the status of your 8 playoff drivers, as we are waiting for this field to make their way back around. The pace car lights are off and we're double file. And Dakota Jorgensen gonna lead this field to green here. 10 laps on his tires, 14 laps on the 86, who has not pitted yet in this race, but taking it easy, I think, in the early running here. We'll see if that 9 car can pay tribute to his paint scheme here and just speed away that Flash National Guard Camaro. Good restart, and he will jump out in front here. No contest. Matthew Williford going to go up to that 3rd lane, and we'll see if these guys can get around him nicely, but obviously old tires compared to everyone else. 86 just dropping like a rock here. He's already back to 5th position as Dakota Jorgensen out in front by about a half second. Bring our ticker up here. Only 10 to go at the line this time to the end of the stage. And Jorgensen out in front, but they are closing. The 8 machine of Jeffrey Meyer battling side by side with Cody Jordan, the 91 of Massajuski, who started outside pole. And we are back under caution. That is the 12 machine of Greg Klein, handful of others here. Let's take a look. Yeah, it looks like it started with the 12 machine of Greg Klein. He was racing up on the outside of the 13 of Hilton Young, and he just comes down right into him. The 48 able to skate by there. A few cars sliding through. That was Tab Hebert. The 68 also loops it around there. That is Casey Flegel, who had stayed out and ended up going to the back of the pack here. '68 just comes flying in, didn't even let off the throttle, I don't think. He sees it all happening. And just straight through the 12 car. Greg Klein going to be heavily damaged. Tab Hebert, obviously quite a bit of damage on that race car as well. Not sure how he went around. Potentially just locked it up under braking. He was racing with the 60 of Aaron Tyner. And Evan Longacre just dives through this. The 5 car, though, locks it up. No damage. He didn't make any contact. I want to see what this looks like. The in-car rapid-fired pizza cam with Evan Longacre, as this wreck was happening right there in front of him. He dives to the apron and going to be able to get right on past, powered through it. Hilton Young going to be done for the race here. He parks it on pit road. That engine smoking like a chimney. And Dakota Jorgensen probably exactly what he was hoping for, as he hangs on to the top spot. We've not had much of a green flag run here, though, so not really going to interview too many of these guys tonight, I think. But let's even grab one of our playoff drivers. Let's see if we can talk to Chris James, who joined the race a little bit later than he was probably hoping for. Chris James, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Hello?
Hey, Chris, you got a copy? Oh, sorry about that. My mic was muted here in Discord. You got a copy?
I got you, Adam.
Awesome. Well, Chris, we knew you were, we weren't sure if you were going to make it to the race tonight. Obviously, you did make it in here. Did you get much practice time in, and you think you got some good speed in that #1 car?
I had exactly 0 practice time. I was able to make the grid, but I definitely think we've got speed. It's just a matter of working through this traffic here. Sorry, it's really loud in the race right now.
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah, obviously your teammate up there in the lead, he's played a little bit of strategy with the pit calls, but what's your goal here for stage 1? You know, obviously you come in with a lot of points, so are you going to try and get up there, get some more points, or just kind of hang back till the end of this race?
I'm here to race, so I'm gonna try to get as many positions as I can. I would have went up there with him on that or on that caution. However, on the previous restart, I got a little damage from a vehicle that did not go on the start. And I think Tab got some damage behind me from hitting me with the big checkup, and so I was overheating. So that caution right after that probably saved my car.
Yeah, 10-4. You do have quite a bit of rear end damage. You got a little crinkle on the hood, but that doesn't look too bad. Obviously, you must have gotten some of it fixed, but you know, we wish you good luck here coming in points leader tonight, and you've been a favorite to watch. So, anybody you want to give a quick shout out to before we let you go racing?
Yeah, shout out to my Junior Motorsports teammates and the league in general. Great times.
Awesome, Chris. Well, we'll see if you can go. I believe it's going to be back-to-back here, and it might be back-to-back-to-back. So we'll see if you can do it again tonight at Kansas. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
That was Chris James, who has a few wins here on the season and trying to recover from that damage that he has, but also missing the practice session. So we'll see what he can do here. At the front, though, it is Dakota Jorgensen. Only going to be a handful of laps here, and he elects to take the outside line on this restart, so that could be an interesting call. And let's see where our pole sitter is riding right now. Stephen Parks back here in the 15th spot. Not sure why he is so far back, but just hanging on for right now, I think, and waiting for this thing to kind of shuffle out. Jorgensen gets him going here. Jeffrey Meyer not able to time that restart, but great jump by the 9 as he's already out to a half-second lead and pulling away down into turn 1. He is hoping for another caution. Thank you, D-Hacker, for the follow. Appreciate that. Appreciate you tuning in and supporting us here tonight. As Dakota Jorgensen back out in front, we bring our ticker up so you can follow along. Jeffrey Meyer hanging on to 2nd position. Cody Jordan right there in 3rd. He is holding off the 91 machine, but Chad Ginningsman has made his way forward now up to 5th. Trying to grab some valuable stage points here as he comes in outside of the cut line by just a couple points. And his closest competitor, Evan Longacre, really having trouble here early. But Alan Dobbs, who was leading for a bit there, he is now back to the 7th position, the 42 car. And looks like Jeffrey Meyer starting to close a little bit as Jorgensen real wide out of turn 4. Here they come down the front straightaway. That 8 car has set a bead on the 9. They are now 2 car lengths apart. And Jorgensen going to take that middle line. Meyer up to the high line, which is definitely going to earn him some momentum out of the corner. And down the back straightaway, you can see the charge from the 8. He's almost there. 1 car length the difference. So they head down into turn number 3. The 8 car still riding up higher. The 9 holding down that middle line, going to try and block him off, and he will. The 8 car nowhere to go with the run. But here comes Cody Jordan and Chad Ginningsman now up to 4th. The 35 of Jordan going to dive it way down low, going to take it right alongside our leader here. We'll see if he can complete this run. He's going to try and slide up. There is room. Oh, he really squeezed in there. The 8 car had to back off. Ginningsman gets into him, and he's got a little bit of damage on that front end now. But quite the stack up among these top 5 cars, and right now at the front of it, it is Dakota Jorgensen, and he's going to try and hang on for one more lap to win that stage. But Cody Jordan charging hard. He dives it down low. It's going to be side by side out of turn 2. The 9 going to stay right there with him. Here comes Chad Ginningsman, very aggressive. We haven't seen that out of the 16, but probably feeling confident from his win at Talladega. Jeffrey Meyer up high. He almost tags the wall. Ginningsman going to go to the middle, and he's going to make it work. Cody Jordan right there on the low line. Oh, almost contact. It looks like Ginningsman's going to come home second, but Jorgensen is going to win the stage. So the 9 car gambling a little bit there. He is going to be your stage winner. Let's go to second position if it cycles out how it's supposed to. I think Ginningsman going to be second. I believe Jeffrey Meyer going to be in that 3rd spot. Cody Jordan 4th. Brandon Masajewski 5th. 6th going to be Dylan Canova. 7th, Alan Dobbs. Or, I'm sorry, 6th, Alan Dobbs. 7th, Dylan Canova. 8th, Cole Early. 9th, Roger Gregory. And rounding out the top 10, Grayson Sullivan. So he earns a stage point. Valuable stage point here. Ginningsman and Jorgensen really doing a good job, though, to earn as many as they can. And that was quite the move by Chad Ginningsman. Very aggressive there in those closing laps of that stage. And definitely a great battle. 16 car, a little bit of damage there, though, on the left rear. Not sure if that was from racing it up like that, but he cut it right down in front of Cody Jordan, and I thought he was going to be going around there. But Dakota Jorgensen comes home the stage winner, and surely he is going to pit. He has been out there for 23 laps on this set of rubber. And we'll see if anybody elects to stay out. But they bring it down pit road. And we are going to go quickly to a side-by-side here. Don't go away. We'll be right back with the green flag. right, and we are back. Looks like Chris James electing to stay out here under the caution. And I just looked back on our previous races, and Chris James did indeed win the last two in this series. So he is on a roll here, now leading at Kansas, the one car. And he gets him going here back under green. He does have 19 lap old tires, so we'll see what he can do. But that one car jumps out to an early gap here. Jeffrey Meyer rolling on the inside, going to take over second away from Dakota Jorgensen. Chad Ginningsman, though, with the back bumper full of Cody Jordan. And maybe the 35 not too happy about that move there at the end of the stage, but they go side by side now down into turn 3. Ginningsman, Cody Jordan. And right behind them, Alan Dobbs, a very fast 42 machine. But Dylan Canova, who ran so strong at Dover in our last race in this series, and ultimately a late caution took him out of the lead. But he led really the majority of the laps, almost all of them, but was not in the right place at the right time, and lost the win to Chris James. But now he takes it way down low underneath Cody Jordan, 3 wide. Chad Ginningsman getting loose, almost 4 wide. And they survive out of there, still 3 wide though, down the front straightaway. The 16 getting a big push from Cody Jordan right on his bumper. That is dangerous here. Dangerous anywhere really, but Cody Jordan all the way down to the apron. That is not gonna work as he loses the spot or tucks right in behind. But Chris James has dropped significantly here back to the 9th position. Not a surprise being on such old tires. He's got damage on that race car as well, so he's just trying to hang on here, trying to earn some stage points. As we see, who's that, Roger Gregory down low with some issues. He is slowing up for the rest of the field here and let everybody on by. So Jeffrey Meyer taking over the lead. Dylan Canova, though, charging. He goes underneath. And he started back at 21st, all the way up to 2nd already. And he's going to take that spot away. Jorgensen, nothing to contend with the 39 in that set of corners, but he comes charging back from the high line. Now going to peek up there again. That battle not over yet. Jorgensen is there. But that will probably do it for the battle as the 39 takes it down low one more time. You can see how much time he gains in the center of the corner there. Cody Jordan now back here. He's fallen behind Chad Ginningsman. And our pole sitter here tonight, Stephen Parks, running back in the 13th position. Just hanging around here with Barry Stevens and the 91, Brandon Masajewski, who started on the front row along with Parks. And they both get by Chris James, who dropped like a rock, started on the lead for this restart. Now back to 14th position. And a little ways back here, we do have a battle between, it looks like Cole Hooper, Charles Hager, but that battle clears itself out. The high line going to be the dominant line here at this racetrack. And the battle is on for the front. Jeffrey Meyer in that outside lane. He's not able to hang on to it. Dylan Canova dives down low. He's not going to be able to complete the pass here, though, as the 8 comes charging back. Almost tags the wall, but they are still side by side down the back straightaway. And this is for your race lead. Dakota Jorgensen right there trying to hang on to 3rd. As Ginningsman really closing in, though. Those top 2 battling. Canova going to have the advantage at the line. And he will lead that lap, but only by 33 thousandths of a second. And the 8 machine up high. They still battle it out. Canova not able to get the run out of turn 2, and there goes Meyer right back to the point. But Canova definitely going to be one to contend with here tonight as he's battling it up and in the definitely the non-preferred line right now. He is still able to hang with these top 4. As behind him now, we've got a battle brewing for the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th positions. Jake Queen here putting pressure on Grayson Sullivan. These playoff drivers trying to earn points and coming to 11 to go next time by for the end of stage 2. It's just clicking off real quickly here. 30-second lap, so it could very easily be just about a 1-hour race for these guys. And And Jake Queen not able to close in just enough. But we've got battles up towards the front. Jorgensen now still fighting with Canova. And here comes Chad Ginningsman looking to the middle. He's not going to go this time as the 39 forces him back up into the high groove. But Canova really fast here. You can see how fast Ginningsman is on turn entry. Just drives right up to the back bumper of Jorgensen. In this group of three battling for that second spot as Jeffrey Meyer pulling away. Meyer started in fourth. He has been up in the front running here for the entire race, but now not a great exit of turn two. He drops to the apron. What's going on with the 8 car? He takes it down to the apron as these guys battle it out. Jorgensen, Ginningsman, and Canova. Jeffrey Meyer taking it behind the wall. What a shocker there. He leads he's leading laps and just takes it behind the wall. So either a connection issue. Thanks for tuning in, Dirty Air. Thanks for checking us out here tonight. Oh, side-by-side battle there, the 39, the 16. Ginningsman able to complete the pass. They almost made contact out of turn two, though. And right behind them, Cole Early has closed in that 22 machine. Back with its regular driver, I believe. And Cody Jordan right here in that 5th position. 42 of Alan Dobbs now making his way forward, but he tags the wall, bouncing off it again. There goes Grayson Sullivan right on by. Here comes Jay Queen. He's going to make that pass. Oh, and the 35 of Jordan really sideways. How did that happen? He was racing it up with Cole Early, gets into the back bumper, tags the outside wall, and hangs onto it. But big wiggle down that back straightaway. That allows Grayson Sullivan to get to the outside, and the 19 actually did complete the pass. So Grayson Sullivan making the most out of these stages. Don't count out Jay Queen or Chad Ginningsman, Dylan Canova. They're all contenders. Canova not in the playoffs, but been so quick here these past few weeks. Has not had the results to show the dominance of that 39 car as he now races it up for second with Ginningsman. But Jorgensen looking to win stage number 2 as we got the 6th Jay Queen going around. He makes contact with, I don't know who that is, Charles Hager? No, Schofield. As Schofield now up onto the racetrack, he spins it out here, trying to slow that thing down. And we are back under caution here, not still in the stage. But looks like it started all with that number 6 of Jay Queen. And the 42 drifts up the track. They make contact. 6 bouncing off that wall. He comes down into Schofield, spins out, and Schofield driving through that grass, trying to hang on to it. Loses control, getting back up on the pavement here, and loops that thing around. But those are the only 2, I believe, caught up in this. Jay Queen, though, going to have heavy damage on that race car and lose all the track position he had. So. And yeah, could have been a home emergency there for Jeffrey Meyer. Not sure what happened with that driver, but he was leading and he is out of it now. So Dakota Jorgensen inherits the lead and only a handful of laps left in this stage. So it looks like Jorgensen is going to come to pit road. He will bring it down along with most of these other guys. I don't think anyone's going to stay out. And they saw what happened to Chris James, who dropped all the way to about the 15th position. He made up a couple of positions here, up to 10th now on the racetrack. Jorgensen, though, going to slide into his pit stall. We'll see what kind of stop he gets here. Nice entry, very conservative entry into that box. The 42 here slides into his box, 91. And Stephen Parks still making his way back up to his box here. Parks with a little bit of right side damage, so your pole sitter here not had the best first half of the race. Looks like Dakota Jorgensen going to win the battle off once again. So that strategy call in stage number 1 has really helped out with Jorgensen. Able to hang on to track position here with these short runs. And let's see what we can learn from talking to Mr. Jorgensen here. Dakota Jorgensen, this is Adam, the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
How's it going, Adam?
Pretty good. You're doing pretty well yourself out there. It looks like you made the strategy call in stage 1, gained a lot of track position. You think you got enough to hang on here as we're coming up to stage number 3?
It's going to be close. Chad and Dylan have had quick cars. It's going to be a battle no matter who's up here with me, I think.
Yeah, and we see you running kind of the higher groove most of the time. Generally, that is the preferred groove around the racetrack. But have you found any grip anywhere else, or you just mostly running up there to try and hang on to your track position?
First few laps you can get away with the middle to bottom, but after the tires start fading, top is just the better line. Dylan's been making the middle work for a lot longer than I thought would be possible, so props to him. But
yeah, you guys were battling out side by side, and Dylan was challenging for the lead there with you, but ultimately fell back a little bit, then was able to mount a second charge. But your car's looking pretty good out there. The Flash number 9, you know, leading the way here, and you've done a great job hanging on to these this track position. So before we let you go racing, once again, anybody you want to give a shout out to real quick?
Just my JRM teammates, Jacob for running the league, and then you for hosting each week. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the time here. Good luck in the rest of the race, and maybe we'll talk to you later.
All right, sounds good.
All right, so that was Dakota Jorgensen, your race leader, the number 9 Junior Motorsports machine out in front. Welcome, Blazer Pete, to the broadcast here. Thanks for tuning in. And pace car lights are off, so we're going to be going one more time here. And this is V-Speed. If you're just tuning in, this is the iRacing Fantasy National Series. So great league here on iRacing. This is the 4th race of their playoffs, the first race of the round of 8. So 8 drivers coming in with a shot at the championship. And then only 4 will advance here in a couple races to the finale. But if you're enjoying what you're seeing here tonight on Twitch, please consider following or subscribing. We would really appreciate it here. And you can use your Twitch Prime subscription to get a free subscription each and every month. You can use that here on V-Speed or wherever you'd like. You can also check us out on YouTube. It's V-Speed Media now, and we're going to be featuring real-world racing as well as some other automotive enthusiast activities. So check us out there. Also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where you can find race announcements before each and every broadcast. But Dakota Jorgensen gets the field stacked up behind him here, gets him going. Green flag in the air one more time at Kansas, and I'm not sure if they're going to call what we saw at the end of the stage. It looks like Chris James. Oh, I thought he dropped out for a second, but he is back here in the 8th position. It looked like he disconnected for a moment. And Jorgensen jumping out to a huge lead here over Dylan Canova, who takes over 2nd. Chad Genningsman in the 3rd position, under fire from his familiar sparring opponent, the number 35 of Cody Jordan. But Jorgensen now coming to the start-finish line. I'm not sure if they're going to throw a caution here for the end of the stage, which should have happened. I believe they may have called it before, so unless they're moving it back a couple laps. Jorgensen is way out in front here. Canova half second back. Chad Genningsman right in there as well. Just outside the top 10, we've got Matthew Williford, who started up towards the front here. Roger Gregory. Oh, they're making contact. The 19 of Grayson Sullivan going around. He hangs onto it. Oh, and he tags the 86. Didn't lock up the brakes there. The 86 gets sent up into the outside wall. Let's take a look at what happened with Sullivan. And this could be detrimental to Mr. Sullivan's. Oh, tags the wall out of 4, really overcorrects hard, locks it down, not able to get the power back underneath, and he hits the 86. And that's going to be a wild ride. Williford up into the wall. He gets slammed into by Rick Webb, one of our other playoff drivers. And he was just about clear. Oh my gosh. Almost full speed head on into the outside barrier. And tags the 86 machine. Grayson Sullivan and Rick Webb caught up early here. The 01 of Joshua Schofield also getting sent around. Not sure what happened to Schofield. He was kind of behind this. He gets slammed into by Jeffrey Meyer, who is back on the racetrack. And then he just narrowly avoids them, but slams hard in that inside wall. Ooh, that is a heavy impact. Okay, Grayson Sullivan continues on, but that car going to be heavily damaged on that right front is where he made contact with Rick Webb. And Matthew Wilford was able to get to his pit box, but that's most likely the end of the race for that 86 Brandonville Motorsports machine. And we're going to call that one the end of the stage. Unofficially, Dakota Jorgensen, your stage winner either way. So congratulations, that's both stages here. Dylan Canova second, Chad Gettingsman third. Fourth is Cody Jordan, fifth is Cole Early, sixth Barry Stevens, seventh Chris James, able to hang on to some points there. Charles Hager 10th, or I'm sorry, 8th, Roger Gregory 9th, and Stephen Parks back inside the top 10 now. So Parks has kept the car fairly clean. A few guys out here having some serious issues, and we're down to 18 cars on the lead lap after starting with 28 here. 26 of them taking to the track. So Dakota Jorgensen continuing to lead and doing a good job hanging on to this track position. If you're enjoying tonight's race, we want to let you know that you can get your own iRacing Fantasy Series merch. If you head on over to the VSpeed shop at vspeedsim.com/shop, we actually just added some of our own gear there. We have a couple new VSpeed hats, pretty nice looking stuff, great quality materials. And you can get your own iRacing Fantasy National Series merch, which contributes directly into the league here. So a portion of each purchase will go right back to their activities. The first 25 to use the code FANTASY5 will save $5 on your purchase of $10 or more. And that code can be applied to any item in the shop. So check us out at vspeedsim.com/shop. Get your own iRacing gear, iRacing Fantasy National Series merch, or the VSpeed merch as well. These guys still pacing out here. We're going to hear a quick message from our sponsor one more time, and we'll be right back with the green flag. Pace car lights are off. Field is back double file. And we will be going one more time here. If you haven't followed already, I'm just looking at our numbers here. We're up to 198 followers, and you could be right up there, be the 200th follow of VSpeed. That would be really awesome. We're almost at that same amount over on YouTube. So we appreciate you guys coming out here and supporting the stream, supporting VSpeed, and supporting these racers. We're putting on quite a show here tonight. Let's take a look at our recap. 6 cautions, 6 lead changes. And these two at the front going to be fighting hard for positions here as Jorgensen is your leader. He gets him going. Green flag in the air at Kansas one more time, and we got door banging there for the second row. The 16 and the 35 who have been racing hard here tonight, to say the least. Those two continue to battle it out, and Ginningsman trying to hang down low here and get alongside Canova. Not able to do it here. He'll stay alongside Cody Jordan as they file down the back straightaway. And down into turn 3, Ginningsman very strong down low. He's been good on the short runs and the long runs, along with that 39 machine, but Jorgensen hanging on to that top spot. And I don't think Jorgensen has the fastest race car, but he has put it exactly where it needs to go to get in the way of the fastest race cars. Is now Canova. You can see him closing the gap there, 2 car lengths down to 1 car length, and Cody Jordan giving a big shove to Ginningsman down the backstretch. So they go into turn 3. Chris James now making a pass on Barry Stevens. Not clear yet, though. They battle it out side by side, and behind them, Charles Hager just in front of the 91 and the 38, who battle it out here for 9th and 10th. So good racing there. The 91 very quick here tonight. Brandon Mazajewski starting in the 2nd position. He's back up to 8th now. And Stephen Parks back inside the top 10 here after starting on the pole. Has not had the race pace that we expected, but maybe just hanging around. We still have 40 to go. And the battle for the lead continues to rage. Jorgensen has it. Canova wants it. Let's go to the nose cam here for Dylan Canova. See what he's trying to do here. He has led a lap, and he started all the way back in 21st, so already driven a heck of a race, but he wants that win, and who can blame him? Big run out of turn 4. He goes down to the inside now. This battle is on for real. Dylan Canova not able to lead that lap, but he takes the point. And looks like Jorgensen not going to even challenge him out of turn 2. The 39, Dylan Canova goes to the lead here. Jorgensen a big charge down the back straightaway, but not the pace to keep up with Canova. And Ginningsman back here just kind of hanging on to his tires, I think. So he lets those two race it up. They've gone single file now for about the top 8 spots. Stephen Parks battling back here with Charles Hager for 9th and 10th. James, Brandon Masajewski, the 1 and the 91 have been fighting it out here for a few laps now too. But that one machine able to hang on to it. He's actually reeling in Cole early in the 22, and Chris James, who didn't get any practice in and started a little ways back, he's won the last 2 events and showing what kind of a driver he is here tonight. With the raw talent just to hop in. And right now, Evan Longacre, just by his perseverance, up to 13th. He was caught up on the lap 2 incident, but still making laps out there, and not even close to being the last car on the lead lap. So Evan is doing a great job. And up in front of him, Jay Queen, who's got some damage, one of his playoff competitors. And meanwhile, Cody Jordan, Chris James, big battle going on here for 4th, 5th, and 6th. It looks like Chris James able to get around Cole early. He's going to peek to the inside of Cody Jordan, who almost tags that wall. But able to stay off of it now, completing lap 64. Not too far left to go in this thing, but they have been out there 18 laps. They may have to make a pit stop if we go green for long enough here. In the 66 of Barry Stevens, big wiggle out of turn 2. And then Netflix Supra. So we take a look inside with Barry here. That is the view out front. Those 4 cars all within reach, but wait for them to start battling it up. As for 2nd, it looks like Jorgensen and Ginningsman have found each other on the racetrack now. Very close battle. The 16 coming down off the wall there on the exit of the corner. He is right on the back bumper of that Flash National Guard Camaro, Jorgensen almost tagging the wall. Here comes Ginningsman down low. Big run out of turn 4. They go side by side down the front straightaway, trying to get the side draft working. And the 9 blocking that high line, the preferred groove. So we are 3 wide back here. Chris James in the middle. The 91, the 22. Oh, almost contact the 22 down low. They're gonna keep it going here. No contact. There goes Barry Stevens right around the outside. Waiting for something like that to happen. And he capitalizes big time. So 66 now up to 6th position. Chris James back to the 7th position. But he looks right back underneath Barry Stevens here, the one obviously with speed. He was able to complete the pass on Cole early here. Now he'll dive to the low line. Barry Stevens tags that wall. Give the position back to Chris James as Stevens and Early now side by side. Chris James, though, big slide out of the corner. You can see the momentum he lost. Lost about 3 or 4 car lengths to the cars up in front. This battle for second still rages. Ginningsman, Jorgensen fighting it out. So they come up to the lap machine. That's the 47 of Kevin Roy, 23 laps off the pace. And this battle back here, Evan Longacre starting to reel in Jake Queen. And I'd say this is our rapid fire pizza cam, but you can't see the sponsor at this point because the hood's not there. But you get a nice view of that Camaro engine and the tires underneath. Evan Longacre starting to reel in Jake Queen, and also Stephen Parks not too far up in front. So the pole sitter here, not quite the long run speed that I think he was hoping for. Maybe just saving tires, saving fuel. We still have 30 to go, and they're definitely, somebody's going to try and stretch it, that's for sure. I don't know if they can go that far or not, but the 39 out in front now, no worries about any of that. Just focused on racing. A whole second up in front as we've got a wreck back here. The 91 of Massachusetts goes around. Heavy contact with the inside wall. 91 takes it out of the event here. Let's go take a look. See what happened. It was a big battle between Cody Jordan, Massachusetts, and Chris James. The 91 really charged hard into the corner here, trying to get to the back bumper. Cuts down a little bit on the exit. The 35 tags the wall. He makes contact with the 91 and almost full speed, not able to slow that thing down. And Cody Jordan, we'll see how he made out of that one. He actually ended up looping it around as well with the contact. We've seen the 35 have trouble out of turn 2. He was not able to hang on to that thing. But it looks like everybody able to avoid him. And he stays off the wall, but heavy damage on the left front of that race car as he's on pit road at the moment. Dylan Canova will lead the field down pit road. And the 14 machine of Cole Hooper going to try and get a wave around here or possibly the lucky dog. He will get the lucky dog and go back on the lead lap. Meanwhile, at the exit of pit lane, let's see who wins the battle off. And Canova wins the battle off. Jorgensen second, Ginningsman third. Chris James coming out in the 4th position. They're narrowly avoiding that accident. And let's see if we can get a word in with Sir Evan Longacre here. See if I can find him in the radio channels here. Oh, there he is. Evan Longacre, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy. Oh, you know what? I keep forgetting. Every time we pull Evan up, he's not able to hear us, so I'm not going to be able to talk to Evan. Let's see if the pace car lights are still on. Let's try and grab somebody else then. How about Barry Stevens? I don't know if we've talked to Barry yet this season. Barry Stevens, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, sure do, Adam.
Well, Barry, you find yourself up here in the top 5 with about a quarter of the race left. You've been hanging with these guys all race. You think you got enough to go up there and challenge for the lead?
You know, Adam, the car's been really good. The 66 Netflix Toyota is definitely always good, but you know, you don't want to tangle with guys going for that championship. I'd be happy with the top 5, be happy with the top 10, but I certainly wouldn't pass up the opportunity to win this thing altogether.
Yes, sir. A win would be awesome to see you come away with, but you've had some solid runs throughout the season. This looks to be, you know, one of your best in recent memory that I can think of, and your car is very clean. You know, you've been running the high line here. Have you found grip around the racetrack tonight, or you just kind of taking it easy for the moment?
Yeah, the high line is where it's at, without a doubt. And if you just can stay right up against that wall, you've got speed. And you know, you're clean, you got speed, you're gonna run well.
Yeah, 10-4 on that. Looks like you guys are going back double file here, though, so I'll let you go. And one question before we let you get back to racing. What is your favorite rapid-fire pizza topping?
Well, I'll tell you, when they come out with checkered flags and race fuel, I'd love that. But since they don't, I got to go with pepperoni and mushroom.
All right, 10-4. That other option might be a little toxic, so I might advise against that. But thanks for your time here. Which room were you in again? So I can drag you back down there.
MBM.
All right, 10-4. Thanks again. Good luck here in the closing stages, and maybe we'll talk to you at the end.
Thank you.
All right, that was Barry Stevens here, putting back down with his teammates there at MBM Motorsports. And fun fact, V-Speed used to be called MB Motorsports. This channel used to be called Simcast, so we have definitely changed things up a little bit here. And 10-4 there, Tater. It sounds like Barry is a class act. He's had a good race here tonight. Hopefully he's able to complete the run as Dylan Canova gets him going. Chad Ginningsman battling side by side with Chris James. It looks like Jorgensen brought it back down pit road. Or he actually might have gone to the tail end of the field with a speeding penalty. We've seen that happen to that 9 car throughout the season. But Chris James now going to try and challenge Dylan Canova for the point. We've seen Chris up here. He's made a great run out of it tonight. And just under a quarter of the race remaining. We see Barry Stevens tag the wall just a little out of turn 4. Right behind Roger Gregory, Cole Early, who battle it out side by side for 4th and 5th. And 10-4 Tater, I think that, like I said, I think that might be a little toxic, but it would definitely be an extravagant pizza. And fitting for a winner here in this series. The one machine, Chris James, trying to hang on to this second spot. Chad Ginningsman right there underneath. Closing into this lead battle. He's right there, and he's been there all night. And Jay Queen back here mixing it up with Dakota Jorgensen, who's already charged up to the 9th position. Up about 5 spots from where he restarted. But still, in just a couple laps, that car is definitely hooked up here tonight, even though he lost the lead. He's starting to chase down Jay Queen. Stephen Parks right up there in front of him, trying to chase down Barry Stevens. Barry hanging on to this 6th spot and doing a good job here. Ginningsman, though, right on the back bumper of the one machine. He's still putting pressure on him as Dylan Canova, I think, is starting to gap these guys just a little. You can see how close he gets to that outside wall. And he started all the way back in the 21st position. And we crossed the line back there. It was now lap 80 and just a little over 20 laps to go in this. Canova really working that high line. A little bit farther off the wall this time, but still, you know, only a couple feet away from the wall. So really pushing that car to its limits here. Ginningsman takes over second from Chris James, and we'll see if the 16 has anything to compete with that 39 machine up front. And Dakota Jorgensen up to the 8th spot. He's able to get around Jay Queen. Now going to try and chase down Steven Parks, our pole sitter. Just about 3/4 of a second up the road. Barry Stevens putting pressure on Roger Gregory. This is going to be for a top 5 position. Barry Stevens really great run here tonight. And he's looking for more here. Going to try and get the top 5. Really sails it into turn 1. Using that outside line here to try and get the momentum out of turn 2. Big run for this Netflix I'm sorry. That is not a Camry. That is a Supra. I was about to say Camry. Definitely not. Chris James in the 3rd position has lost touch. Now under fire from Cole Early. And we are under 20 to go. That top spot being contested. Ginningsman is there. He is closed in. That time fastest car on the racetrack is the 16 Vice Grip Mustang. And that's the difference as they come up behind a lap car. You can hear him just lift off the throttle, then full throttle right there in the center to the exit. Obviously a good handling race car as they put a lap on Cole Hooper now. Hooper drops to 1 lap down in the 15th position. But he is well off the pace, about 3 seconds off the pace. So Hooper not going to be any kind of a contender here unless things go exactly perfectly. He could manage possibly a top 10, but this is the battle on track, the biggest battle out here, but they are still battling for 3rd. Chris James with some connection problems there. Dakota Jorgensen battling it up with Steven Parks. He has got to the back bumper of the 93. Now looks to the inside, and right up in front of them is Roger Gregory, who continues to drop with the 9 sliding way up the track. Almost contact. They squeeze out of the corner. I don't know how they didn't make contact there. It looked like it was an air buffer right between them. And Parks going to hang on to that spot. He sets his sight forward on Roger Gregory, just a few car lengths up in front. And Jay Queen back here in the 9th position, able to salvage something as he tags the wall going into turn 1. And Charles Hager, the 10 Nutrien car, back here rounding out the top 10. Evan Longacre, though, has just persevered. He is almost in that top 10. This is the difference up to that 10 machine from Evan Longacre, the rapid-fired pizza cam. And Evan just milking that car for all the speed it's got. He's still running at 30.5 compared to some of our top times, which are in the 30 flat range. These top 2 really in a ballpark of their own. Canova at 30 flat, Ginningsman at 30.1, and nobody else faster than a 30.4 on the racetrack. So you could say that these guys are in their own zip code, and it really shows by how far they pulled away here. And we are rapidly approaching 10 laps to go. Canova now starting to put a little gap on Chad Ginningsman. Not sure if the 16 car is starting to lose a little bit of handling, but he has been a contender all race and seemed to be pretty good on the long run, but that 39 car seems like he is a little bit better out of 3 and 4. And the 16 car tagging the wall down into turn 1. That's going to slow him up big time. Now the gap up over half a second. The 16 big wiggle out of turn 2. He just continues to lose the grip in that race car. Chris James, though, still battling it up here, trying to hold on and get back to the 3rd position. Barry Stevens, though, in 5th. Let's see if he can charge up there and challenge those guys. He's about 1.4 seconds back as we cross the line now. Lap 90 on the board. And next time by, it'll be 10 to go. And Dylan Canova, Chad Ginningsman, that's the battle for the win. Ginningsman has not gotten too hung up here. He's still hanging with the 39 and really working the high line there, really close to the wall. Big run out of turn 4 there. And he closes the gap just a little bit more, about a 10th faster last time by. So the 16, when that sun comes out, sure seems like he's pretty quick here, as Canova really trying to play it safe off that outside wall. Here comes the 16, another big run. And 10 to go this time. Now, who do you think is going to win this one? The 16 is closing in, but Canova looks like he's got a good car as well. This is clearly your battle for the win, but caution is out. The 60 of Aaron Tyner out of turn 2 on this back straightaway. That car heavily damaged here. As he tries to get it rolling again. We are under caution again here. This is big, changes everything. But Tyner all by himself out of turn 2, slams that wall. Cody Jordan able to slip right past. 60 just bouncing off that wall. He shoots it down to the inside and able to keep it off the inside wall. See what happened with Tyner here. I think the back end just stepped out. That is definitely the case as he corrects it, but slams in that wall, and then the steering a little bit bent there. Shoots him down to the inside. So Tyner bringing out this caution. That is caution number 8. We've had 7 lead changes here, but what do the leaders do? Trying to see who's going to bring down pit road. I think they're going to come down this time if they choose to, but it's going to be probably 4 laps of green at the end after these guys cycle through. And we might see some 2-tire stops. We might see someone stay out. Let's look a little farther back. Cody Jordan gonna go back onto the lead lap here. He gets the lucky dog, I believe. Yeah, I believe that is the case. So put the 35 back on the lead lap. He will be 15th, but let's take a look at these guys who are making their stops right now. Check out the battle off of the pit road. I want to thank you all for tuning in here tonight at Kansas as the battle off of pit road. Looks like Chris James, a 2-tire stop. That one car's going for 3 wins in a row. Who can blame him? 16 of Chad Ginningsman gonna come out second. He will beat Dylan Canova off of pit road. But the big story is at the front here, the one machine. Chris James, he's led 4 laps here through the earlier pit call where he elected to stay out on much older tires and instantly paid the price, dropping all the way back to 15th. But he is going to be your leader when the number 60 of Aaron Tyner brings it down here. And Tyner is going to bring it in. And Chris James will take over here. So what is the call on this restart? Who's going to win this thing? Is Chris James going to have the grip that he needs to get going? 20 laps on those left side tires. It's a tough call. But his race car obviously very good. He's been hanging in the top 5 ever since he got here. And winner of last 2 races in this series. And he stole a win away from Canova in a very similar fashion to this at Dover 2 weeks ago. And he's looking like he might be able to do it again here, but really going to have to nail this restart. And pace car lights are still on, so possibly going to going to get the one to go next time by. But Chris James going to be in control here, and Ginningsman in the second position. So Canova really losing out on that pit cycle. Just a 1/10 of a second slower on the pit stop, but Ginningsman must have had a better shot at the exit of pit road, or a little bit better entry, as he was 4/10 faster on pit lane. And that was the difference right there. And pace car lights are off, so we're going to be going the next time by. It'll be 4 to go, and Chris James, your leader. 2 tires. How is it going to work? Will it work, or will he just drop like a rock? He's been bold in his pit strategies here. Didn't practice at all. He got into the session right before these guys started gridding up, and he's won the last 2 races, really showing his speed here and his ability to race up inside the top 5 even without much practice. But he's going to lead the field here, and we'll see what happens. And I want to give a big shout out to Shorba's iRacing Paints. See if we can get their banner up here on the screen again. Check out Shorba's iRacing Paints on Facebook. If you want your own custom paint scheme, Jacob puts on some great work on these race cars. You can see many of them on the racetrack tonight. Head on over to Shorba's iRacing Paints and see what they can get done for you. Chris James gets him going here, 4 to go. And that one machine on 2 tires, stretching it out here, trying to get as far away as possible. As they race it out for second, Dylan Canova going to jump into that spot. Chad Ginningsman going to slot into third. Cole Early right here battling it up with Roger Gregory. Barry Stevens right behind them. And sounded like there was contact behind, but here comes Steven Parks peeking to the inside of Barry Stevens as they battle it out for 6th and 7th. Jorgensen back here in the 8th position. And not sure why he's so far back, but the 1 car hanging on to this spot. Very fast lap, fastest on the racetrack, so he continues to pull away now, 7/10 of a second in front of Dylan Canova, and Chad Ginningsman right there in the picture as well. And Cole Early, really a burst of speed here in this last little run. And that 22's been good on the short run, but not as good on the long run. As Chris James losing some time now. Here comes Canova and Ginningsman. 2 to go at the line. The 1 car trying to hang on to this. And it is going to be a tall order, but he's got a good gap. But the 39's so good on this end of the racetrack. The 16 also just so fast as Chris James sliding out of turn 2. He's going to lose the lead. Not enough grip in those left side tires. And here comes Ginningsman now challenging for the lead. It's Canova, Ginningsman, here comes Cole Early, going to make the pass, and Dakota Jorgensen charging hard. He's going to make it up inside the top 5, passing Roger Gregory. But this is the battle. Canova came up so close last time at Dover. Can he seal this deal here? Can Ginningsman take another surprise win? He hasn't led a lap yet. Oh, and he blows his engine. The 16 car blowing an engine. Didn't make it to the end here. Canova gonna win it. Ginningsman must have taped that thing off solid on that pit stop, hoping it would survive, and did not make it all the way around. Just had a little ways to go, but Dylan Canova, redemption after Dover. This time he was able to take it away from Chris James. Chris James coming home in that 3rd spot, but your winner, Dylan Canova, at Kansas. He steals one away from the playoff drivers. Nobody's going to lock themselves in just yet, says that 39 car. So he gets congratulatory taps here from Jorgensen and Chris James. Roger Gregory, they do a little sandwich there, and they spin him out into the infield where he will proceed to do his burnout. Congratulations. The 38 of Roger Gregory, a big tap there right on the nose. Dylan Canova, a happy camper here tonight. Let's take a look at him right there on screen. 35 laps led, started all the way back in 21st. We're going to cut quickly to a short commercial break, and we'll be right back with our post-race interviews. And we are back. We're going to be bringing up our race winner here, Dylan Canova. This is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy? Well, Dylan, you finally did it here. You've been knocking on the door for so many weeks now, and we came into the pits there. It was looking like a repeat of Dover. How happy are you to get it done here tonight? Yeah, I can tell. I mean, just based on everybody coming out to congratulate you, it looked like, you know, everybody was happy that you finally did it here. And you didn't have it all your own way tonight. I mean, you had to come from 21st. So what did it take to get up through the field there and, you know, eventually steal it away at the end? Yeah, and I don't think it was just the car. I think it was just your drive to get to the front. You've been so close for so many weeks, and you know, it's great to see you come out here and finally get one of these things, and really in a great fashion. I mean, you didn't dominate here, but you were right up there contending for this last third of the race, and you know, it looked like you were definitely the car to beat there. Nobody was going to deny you. So we move on to Texas next week, and how much of a confidence booster is it going into another mile and a half? Yeah, I think you'll definitely be somebody to keep an eye on, you know, based on tonight's performance. I think if you guys bring some type of similar setup, it should be a pretty solid run, and you've got two top three finishes, and really looking like a top contender in this series. So once again, congratulations on the win here. Coming from 21st, you led 35 laps here, which might be the most. And anybody you want to give a shout out to for tonight's victory? Yeah, congratulations once again, Dylan. Great effort for you here tonight, and you come away on top finally. So go celebrate, and we'll catch up with you next week at Texas. All right, that was Dylan Canova coming home your winner. Let's go to second place, Cole Early. Cole Early, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy? All right. Oh, 10-4. I guess we missed the whole interview with Dylan. Then that's too bad.
Yeah, yeah,
I might pull him. Yeah. Well, at least we'll be able to get you in. I might pull him back up in here. But Cole, you ran up inside the top 5 for a good portion of this race, and I think Chad blew his engine there, come through the last couple of corners, and you were able to sail on through. But could you give us a rundown of how your race went for you tonight?
Yeah, I work with my teammates and stuff like that to try to make sure that we can get a good car going, and we try to make sure that we stayed patient throughout the whole race and make sure that we could save on tires to have some speed there at the end, so we don't get that loose end coming towards the end of the runs. But yeah, just trying to stay smart, trying to stay safe, waiting for things to come to you. Don't get too aggressive or greedy on stuff and get taken out.
Yeah, 10-4, and you did a great job managing the race here. We saw you battling up with those guys for a good portion of this. Chris James, a bunch of those top drivers, right up there in the mix. So, definitely a lot to be proud of. And the weather wasn't too crazy here. We have had some hot temps in the last few weeks, but was it just nice to get some decent runs here and have pretty good control over the race car tonight compared to maybe some of these prior races?
It's definitely nice to have some grip back with the car, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Being on a little bit cooler tracking, you get a little bit more freedom and stuff like that. Yeah, racing against Chris is always difficult and a fun time, and the other guys up there in the front too, Chad and all that. I definitely had my work cut out for me. It was never given to me. Going 3 wide with Chris in the 91, that was definitely a no crap moment for sure. So it was definitely something I had to work for, but it was a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it looked like a blast out there. And you didn't have it all your way. I mean, you started back in 14th, and you did make your way up here, and really just perseverance at the end there. Nice drive to get to the second spot. So we go into Texas next week. How big is this as a confidence booster going out there?
It's definitely nice to be able to get some more close racing and higher finishes under my belt. Still got to work at it. Still got to put in the time and the effort to make sure that I'm ready for Texas.
Yeah, and we'll look forward to seeing if you can follow up this second place run out there. But anybody else you want to give a quick shout out to before we let you go celebrate?
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Rapid Fire Pizza for their sponsorship here. Shout out to V-Speed Sim for doing the broadcast and letting other people watch our race. Shout out to Shorebird iRacing Paints for giving us some really good looking cars out there on the track, and then race control people who monitor the race and make sure that everybody's abiding by the rules and everybody's on the same level. So all those people come together and make this happen. It's a great time. I really enjoy it.
And you put on a great show for us here, Cole. So congratulations on that second place run, and we'll catch you at Texas.
All right, thanks. Have a good one.
You too. That was Cole Early. And once again, we apologize for not getting a word in there with Dylan. We may bring him back up here. Actually, let's just do that right now. Hey, Dylan, we actually had our audio off for the whole interview on your end, so we're just going to do it again.
All right.
So you get to celebrate a second time here with us. I think that's probably, you're deserving. You've been so close, like we said, so if you could just tell the fans, what it means to come out here and finally seal the deal at Kansas tonight.
Oh, it's huge. feels so good to shake that monkey off my back and break the curse of late cautions costing me races. I guess I said earlier, it third time's the charm. Happened at Vegas and Dover, so finally able to do it at Kansas.
Yeah, and we talked about it just a moment ago, but it looked like a repeat. And I know you were a little concerned there, but your car was good on the short run, and it was also really good on the long run. But did you struggle at any point here tonight that you had to work around, or you had to make some passes that took you a little bit longer?
On that run when we got up there and we're battling for the lead for the first time, we were there, but you couldn't get to the bottom on the long run and clear somebody. If you did, you had to have a massive run coming off of either 2 or 4 to do it, and we struggled there. We fell back and just kind of battled on the bottom as long as we could and got that caution, and that helped us get the setup a little bit dialed in and gave us that shot at the bottom on a restart. We were able to chase Dakota down. But I knew I had to do it within a couple of laps, because if I couldn't do it in a couple of laps, there was no way I was going to be able to do it. And just seemed our car worked a little bit better on the bottom, longer than everybody else.
Yeah, we noticed you could really just like send it in there, and really not many people were making it work, like you said. But yeah, it seemed like 4 or 5 laps in, you're still going for it and still making passes, and you did get that drive past Dakota, and at that point really just pulled away. So obviously the car very good in clean air, even good in the dirty air. But yeah, I mean it's another solid run for you here. 2 top 3s in a row, and I guess let the fans know what you think about going to Texas next week.
Yeah, I'm excited for the momentum. Not the biggest fan of Texas. It's not my best track. It's real similar to Kansas in a way. Typically it's a little hotter there, a little bit looser. So the setup can kind of be a little tricky there. So it's not my favorite track, but I think with the momentum we had off of Dover and even Richmond, we had a really good car at Richmond. The finish didn't show for it. And Vegas, so the last 2.5 miles now, we've run up front pretty much the whole race, and I still feel we should have won Vegas if there wasn't a caution, but it doesn't count in racing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We're off a top 3 there, so that's 3 top 3s and 5 starts, 4 starts. I'm not sure how many. I think 5 starts. So
yes,
I think momentum will carry.
Yeah, definitely showing your strength here in this series, and obviously not in the playoffs, but able to take one of these away from those guys, so they can't guarantee themselves in, and just going to put more pressure on them next week. So that's only better for you, I would say. But anyways, thanks for coming back up in the booth here with us, and anybody you want to give a shout out to once again?
Yep, I got to thank the guys at RSS Racing, Brandon for spotting for me tonight, getting me up through the front, through the field, and maintaining that lead. Got to thank AOD Racing, 4 balls only, and all the guys who congratulated me after the race, and it was huge. Makes it feel like part of the family around here.
Yeah, and that was a really awesome moment to see out there, getting congratulated by your peers. So congratulations once again. Started 21st, led 35 laps, and you come home with the win. Thanks for jumping back in the booth with us, and we'll catch you at Texas.
Thank you, Adam.
All right, so we brought Dylan back up there. Again, a very happy man, and we're all happy for him, I'm sure. He's been so close here, and you could just tell pretty dejected in some of these other races. But 3rd place, Chris James, will get him up in the booth here. Chris, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Adam.
Hey, Chris, well, you took a gamble there at the end. Obviously, didn't quite work out for you, but did you think, you were coming to 2 to go, you were out in front, and you think you were going to be able to hang on to it?
I thought I might have had a chance. Immediately thought better of that. When I tried to go low there and felt a wiggle, I said, oh, no, he's got it.
Yeah, it was a heck of a save, though. I mean, we saw those guys really in, but obviously you kept the car underneath you and kept it up there in contention. Did it help being behind anybody, when you had the 2 tires versus out front, or did it not really make any difference at that point?
It didn't make any bit of difference. 2 tires
Yeah.
was a bad idea all the way around. But it was, I was fighting that damage that I got early on from one of those restarts. Had it not been for that, and maybe if I could have qualified, it might have been a bit of a different story tonight. But hats off to Dylan. He ran an awesome race. I'm glad that he got around me and we didn't have a repeat of Dover.
Yeah, we were talking to him about that. It was basically the exact same scenario, except at Dover you did take 4 tires, and he just lost out on the pit cycle. But this time he was in a little bit of a better position, and it seemed like there were more laps to go. So
Oh yeah, he had 4 tires. He had a fast car all night. So yeah, the better car won tonight.
yeah, not as much of a disadvantage in tonight's scenario. But you come in 2 wins in a row, at the Roval and Dover, and a 3rd place here tonight. How much momentum does that give you moving forward to Texas?
I think we're sitting in a good spot. Texas is. Who doesn't love Texas? I
Yeah.
can't bring Texas on. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites, so I'm excited to go out there and broadcast it for you guys. But yeah, a great run for you here tonight. You started back in 20th, right there alongside Dylan, and you had 9 laps, come home in 3rd. Anybody you want to give a shout out to for tonight's finish?
Absolutely. I'm going to give a shout out to Rapid Fire Pizza for sponsoring the series. Shorber's iRacing Paints, Alpha Ornamental Metals. Shout out to my junior motorsports teammates. Dakota finished 4th behind me, did a great job. Had an unfortunate, I think, pit. But other than that, he did a really good job. And also, I want to give a special shout out to Gen X Racing, who actually powers our junior motorsports cars.
Awesome, Chris. Well, another great run, another awesome show you put on here tonight, and thanks for making it interesting at the end. 2 weeks in a row, or 2 races in a row, but you come home 3rd, and we'll catch you at Texas.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
That was 3rd place finisher Chris James. Let's go to our finishing results now and do a quick recap of tonight's event. 8 cautions here at the Kansas 100, sponsored by Rapid Fire Pizza. And if you haven't checked those guys out, I'm going to put the link down in the chat there so you can check them out and get yourself your own Rapid Fired Pizza. But 8 cautions, 10 lead changes, very interesting at the end with Chris James staying out or taking 2 tires there and capturing the lead in a very similar way that he did at Dover just a couple weeks ago. But Canova ultimately able to overcome it tonight, and he will come out on top here, your winner. Started back in 21st, great run by Dylan to get that monkey off his back. In 2nd, it was Cole Early kind of sneaking up in there and stealing that 2nd place away after Chad Kenningsman blew his engine going into turn number 3. Chris James once again comes home 3rd. Dakota Jorgensen, playoff contender here, with a great run. He had 2 stage wins and then comes home 4th, so lots of points being earned, and that's going to definitely help him as he was on the outside looking in. Or I'm sorry, he came in. Yeah, I believe he was on the outside looking in. So good job by Dakota. In 5th place, it was Roger Gregory. Nice solid run by him. Stephen Parks recovers to get back up to 6th after starting on the pole. So good race there by Stephen. In 7th, it was Barry Stevens. A great run by him as well. Chad Ginningsman, who was up there battling for the win, blows his engine in the last set of corners and comes home in 8th. So not detrimental, but definitely not probably the finish he deserved. Charles Hager comes home in 9th, and Evan Longacre persevering, getting caught up in a wreck on lap number 2. He earns a 10th place finish, so great job by Evan to run this thing out. That can be so disappointing to be caught up early, but he got a great finish. Tab Hebert coming home in 11th. Jay Queen, another playoff driver, finishing in 12th. 13th was Tim Rivers. 14th, Cody Jordan. 15th was Aaron Tyner. 16th was Cole Hooper. 17th, Jeffrey Meyer, who was up there contending in the leading laps when he had to disconnect. Rick Webb finishes in 18th, so he's going to be one of the lowest of the playoff drivers, not the finish he was looking for. 19th, Kevin Roy, and 20th was Brandon Masajewski. In 21st, it was Grayson Sullivan, another playoff driver. He's not going to have the run that he was looking for here. Comes in 7th in points and finishes in 21st. Matthew Williford finishing 22nd. Joshua Schofield, 23rd. Alan Dobbs finishing 24th. Hilton Young, 25th. Zach Adams, 26th. Greg Klein, 27th. And Casey Flegel finishing in the 28th position. So that's going to round out our field here tonight. Dylan Canova comes home your race winner here. The Rapid Fired Pizza Kansas 100, the iRacing Fantasy National Series round of 8 opener, not season opener. We are far past that. So we want to just thank these guys once again for letting us come out here and broadcast. Want to thank our sponsors, Rapid Fired Pizza, Alpha Ornamental Metals, and Shorbas iRacing Paints. Check all those guys out and give them your support. A heck of a race here once again by these guys, and we're looking forward to the next one at Texas. But we'll be right back here tomorrow night at Kansas in the Cup Series for 134 laps, so a little longer race, and that's going to be a good show hopefully as well. So tune back in, same time tomorrow night here on V-Speed. And if you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, like we said, please consider following or subscribing. We're only 2 followers away from 200, and that would be an awesome milestone for us to hit here. If you haven't already, check us out on YouTube as well, where we post the race replays. You can check out last week's race at Talladega over there from the Cup Series race. It's V-Speed Media now, no longer V-Speed Broadcasting on that platform, so check us out over there. You can find us on Facebook, where we post race announcements before each and every broadcast, as well as on Instagram and Twitter, those same announcements, as well as new merchandise and special events. So I want to thank those who followed here tonight, tuning in, supporting these guys out on track, and supporting the broadcast. So check us out tomorrow night. Until then, have a good night.